Check back.
And the horns are playing. You know what that means. It's time for another episode of Shot Reviews with your host, Jarrell, and Stu as the co-host. It's been a while since we've done a podcast, but we are finally back to give you all the information that's going on in the news and your latest album reviews. Like I said, I'm Jarrell, and with me is Stu. How you doing, Stu?
I'm doing all right.
He just had some pizza here earlier. Pretty good, right?
Yep. Had to fill up the stomach.
Yeah, man.
Can't drink on an empty stomach.
Well, you can, but the thing is, it's when you drink an empty stomach, it gets you drunker, which could be good and bad. We'll see how the day goes. I just had an omelet about many hours ago, so we'll see how this show goes. But we missed you guys. We haven't done a show since February. I had some things happen in my life. One of the things I must tell you is Mrs. S, the wife, had a baby in March. Have a proud son now at home. So I had to take some time off and dedicate my time to sleeping less and walking around like a zombie at the same time. The joys of constantly feeding a baby that needs to be fed every 3 hours. But it's all worth it in the long run. You know, what can you do? Yeah, I'm sorry, a little down, not down, but a little slow right now. But it's having a kid kind of like the first few months, they'd say, is what really slowed you down, and it will pick up after that when he'll start sleeping longer due to eating more food. That's what I'm actually looking forward to, although they say they grow up fast. This last month and a half has really been exactly a month and a half for me. I'll tell you that right now. But how about you, Stu? Anything you over the past month and a half happened to you? You want to talk about?
Nah, just work, stress, and ex-girlfriends.
Well, that's not as much stress for a normal person. When it comes to Stu, ex-girlfriends are pretty much a blessing for you sometimes. You know, those are sometimes good things for him, but we'll wait until he's okay with talking about that. Another thing that happened to us a couple last month is we're doing more interviews. So we got to see a concert in New York. We got to see Suicide Machines. Got to do my first professional interview with, which I say professional because it was actually which I say a popular band. And remember that show?
Yeah, that I do. It's pretty good.
You want to? Do you remember the fact that's funny to me is Stu's in the pit, right, moshing and stuff, doing his thing that he normally does. Next day, he takes off his jacket and there's like a tear on his shirt.
My shirt.
And I'm like, oh, your shirt's torn. Then he turns around and it's a bigger tear on the other side. It's like at some point in the show, this guy turned Incredible Hulk and just hulked out and just started tearing shit up and then didn't remember a thing. Did you remember tearing your shirt? You said you don't remember that.
No, I remember hearing a little tear. Like, it was just a little tear. I just nothing to worry about. Like, I was getting picked back up off the floor. And I didn't think anything of it until I got home.
So wait, did you remember how it got torn? Did you fall and someone tried to pick you up, they grab your shirt and it tore?
Yeah.
Okay. But
so it wasn't actually me like ripping my own shirt off or anything.
It looked just like that because the tears were all over the place. It's like armpits gone. You look on your collar's off. But I mean that's why I'm in the front all the time. You know, to avoid that. And plus, I like to sing along and get the opportunity to get good pictures, singing in the microphone, all that stuff. So since I had a backstage pass, I could have been on stage, but I wanted to keep my professionalism at its highest peak, you know.
Yeah.
But
yeah, they searched the hell out of you, and they just let me right in.
Yeah, I don't want to pull any race cards.
I had a ticket, and then, no, it wasn't that. I had a ticket, and they let me right in.
I had a ticket too.
They were like their search was like they like patted the side of me, and then they saw you, and they were like, oh no, backpack.
Yeah, the backpack
scared them.
They pull the backpack out, and then they see I have the mics for recording. Like, what's this for? And I'm like, I'm recording. I'm doing an interview with the singer. They're like, do you have a press pass? I'm like, no. He just said to call him, and then I'll go in. And he's like, they had to call another guy, and had me standing out there waiting for someone to come out and get me. Like, it was a big ordeal that I'm bringing like microphones in, but Stu brings in a freaking pocket knife. It's no big deal.
Yeah, I didn't need to know. Well, that was part of the. I don't know. you totally were able to see the knife too, like clipped onto my pocket, and it wouldn't even take padding, and they didn't see it. But
Yes,
I would have had to walk back to the car.
they're
But
basically saying, do not stab. You can stab people in
it
here,
was a
but
box.
do not
It was a
record this
box
nonsense.
cutter, though. It was a box cutter.
That could do some damage. You know what happened at 9/11?
Yeah, I know. Box cutter, weapon of mass destruction.
No, the box cutter did not bring the building down, but it did help. I'm just saying, the box cutter would have been more harmful than me recording a concert. But I guess they have their priorities where they are, And before we get to last Saturday, my another concert we went to. Actually, let's get into that now because I wanted to mention that we are actually at a new studio, or one of our temporary studios well, let's say this is Stu's lovely backyard, and it's nice weather here we're having in New Jersey. So the birds are out, the sun is up, and what else is in the air besides the sound of the wind? But the pollen. And now I'm going to mention that too. Basically, I'm one of the many people that suffer from allergies in the month of May and the early months of June. So this leads to last Saturday we went to see one of our local bands play a metal show, which you can check out that interview on our website.
Damnation Fest.
Yes, Damnation Fest, which has many up and coming metal bands playing. And did an interview with a band called Cheese Puff Death Crunch, who I've seen a couple times. Stu's seen them too. Close friends of ours, and he works with one of the musicians. But during the show, I was fine. Then all of a sudden, I got completely congested, and I could not breathe. I tried walking around, trying to get it out of my nose, and couldn't handle it. So I was like, all right, I'm going to have to sit in my car, because I was a little drunk at the time at the same time. Sit in the car and just put the seat back and just try to ride it out. It was awful. It
was a long show, so I could see you taking a little break.
I think what it was, because they had the front and back doors open, so I think with waiting with all the pollen that's going in and out, just eventually got to me.
I get fall allergies, so I don't know.
Oh, you get allergies in the fall. So you know what I'm talking about when it's just like blockage in your nose, right? Yeah. What the thing I read about is I finally found some medicine that works, but the whole week that I was suffering through, I'm like looking online, figuring out why is it happening to me. But I always thought it was like mucus, but it's actually like there's like your membranes are like blocking the area, so I actually feel like there's something in your nose and you can't get it out. But anyway, I'm better now. So that's why we're outside. But we also did an interview with them, and I thought it came off. You'll hear it, but they're a little shy, and so they were kind of far away from the microphones. But
I can boost some of that. I can fix it up. Right now, it's already posted, but
I want to say I want it like that. You know why?
I can fix it up and repost.
I want it like that. So the next time we interview, when they're bigger and they're a little more confident, we can hear the differences. And not only in the audio quality of their voices, but their confidence will be there as well. How was your Mother's Day last week?
All right. Typical.
Mother's Day is like a really important day of the year for me. I have to really roll out the red carpet for my mom. But how about you?
No, it's not that important. Well, I mean, it is, but it isn't. It's like as important as Father's Day.
No, I'm about to get to that. It's not.
No, it's
if you
it's
watch
as important
if you
as
watch
Father's
on
Day.
if you watch on TV, the Mother's Day commercials start in I'd say late April, and then the Father's Day commercials start the week before. And Father's Day
I think mothers do more.
No, that the commercials they come a week before. That's what we're supposed to believe.
Yeah, but they hype it up bigger.
Yeah, because they believe that mothers are more. I think with my mom anyway, she's a little more materialistic, where she wants a present and she wants you to take her out. She wants you to shower her with gifts and stuff like that, and brunches. Because I went to reserve a brunch for my mom, and they were like, "There's 35 people ahead of you. If they all cancel, then we can put you on." And it's like, okay, let me not do that. I'll do the dinner thing instead. Because that's like the cliche thing you do. You take your mom out for brunch. You do all that stuff for that. What do you do for your dad for Father's Day? Give him a card. He doesn't want. He just watches football, and that's it. It's not football. It's June. He watches baseball. He might be watching hockey. It depends how long the playoffs go.
My dad
basketball.
Watches military history or the History Channel
on Father's Day.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, he just keeps the same routine. He doesn't want you to take him out, right?
No.
And then the worst thing of all is Father's Day has to be shared with graduation. That's why they say, oh, grads and dads. But Mother's Day, they have that whole fucking day blocked. It's just that exclusive day for them. But Father's Day is like we have to share it now, or fathers have to share it with graduating kids and graduating college people as well. Mostly kids because they graduate in June, but that's why it's a bigger deal, you know. Mother's Day is a bigger deal than Father's Day.
I can't look at this beer sweating here anymore. Let's crack one open. I know it's shot of reviews, but
no, go ahead. We're also having drinks as well. You know, that's what the show's all about: having drinks and catching up on each other's lives. You know.
You want?
Yeah, sure. Open it for me. Here, the bottle's hitting the table right there. It's beautiful.
Nice.
All right. So now that we got all the salutations out of the way, let's get into some of the topics in the segment we like to call Stu's Views. Stu's Views. Stu's Views.
You could have used a sample for that.
One day we will. One day we'll have samples. This is the part of the show where we talk about the current events and ask Stu what he thinks about it.
No.
All right, first up, I don't know if you're about... This is a very exciting story for me, so I have to play some music for this. Fox has officially said that this is the last season of American Idol. Yes, glorious times upon us. Finally, the end of a terrible, terrible reality television show. And I cannot be more happier than to hear it. And this is my opinion, but I cannot wait to hear what Stu thinks about this. All right. Let me get to my notes right here. Let the music finish playing out. There we go. So after one of the more dominant runs in television history, American Idol will not be returning after its 15th season this January. So host Ryan Seacrest, which is the only person that has been left since the show started in 2002, and the current judges, Jennifer Lopez, Harry Connick Jr., and Keith Urban, will be along for the final ride. And Fox had the seating competition series that unearthed Kelly Clarkson, Carrie Underwood, Jennifer Hudson, Chris Daughtry, and Adam Lambert would stage a season-long They're going to be there to stage a season-long celebratory event in the last season, along with their search for the final Idol superstar. Idol winners have combined for a total of 13 Grammys, led by Underwood's 7. However, the series has discovered the award winner. The series hasn't discovered an award winner in nearly a decade. So after Kelly Clarkson and Underwood emerged, the show hit its peak ratings in the 5th season in 2006. And let's just go on to finish this up. But however, the ratings slowly started declining after Paul Abdul left, and they tried to fix things with having Ellen DeGeneres do like a season cameo. And I recall they also had Steven Tyler come on for a season, and he eventually left. But the true decline came in 2010 when everyone's favorite judge, Simon Cowell, departed to go back to his Fox singing competition show, The X Factor. And even though The X Factor was eventually canceled, they also have The Voice that's out right now, which is oversaturating the market, and that led to the downturn in the Idol viewership. And although Idol found some stability in recent years with the people that are going to be doing Lopez, Connick Jr., and Urban, who are on there now, the ratings have been really low to about 11 million people viewing it for the current 14th season, which is very successful for like a sitcom, but for the costs and the salaries that went into Idol, it's kind of expensive for them to keep the show going. And I see you're about to say something. So Idol has those usually there are 2 nights a week, 3 hours holds for the schedule, which was taking up most of Fox's time slots. And this past year, Fox found reliable audiences with the new scripted shows like Empire and Gotham, which I watch Gotham, and it's a pretty good show. It's a Batman prequel show, which further loosens the dependency on stalwart Idol. Despite its decline in recent years, Idol will be remembered for spawning dozens of copycats in the reality TV field, as well as the talented singers it helped discover. Now, what I have to ask Stu, who actually is an ex-musician, what do you think about this whole Idol thing in the first place and the fact that it's ending now?
I didn't really like it from the start. I mean, I guess it's great that there's a place that, jugglers and...
There's no juggling, it's all singing.
Oh, it's all singing?
It's not like American Got Talent. That's a
Oh,
different show.
I'm thinking American Has Talent.
Yeah, this
They're
is
all the same.
basically.
I mean, how many are there?
This is basically
There's like fucking 10 of them.
Yeah, and there's also. Wait, no, it's I Got Talent, American Idol, and that's all that's really out right now. There have been other ones that come and go. But for me, I'll tell you this: when the show first started, I hated the idea, and I'll honestly say they should have canceled it after the first season with Kelly Clarkson. She's the most popular winner they had. Everybody else that has won, like the whole thing, besides Carrie Underwood, people win that show, right? Ruben Studders, Fantasia, and then they're gone. You win, you get your prize. Everyone talks about you. You put out an album, then you're gone.
So
no
it's
one cares
basically
anymore.
karaoke, though.
Yeah. Well, no, you're singing your own song. Well, yeah, it's true.
Okay,
It's right. You're
it's
right. You're
karaoke.
right. Yeah.
On a big scale.
Yeah, and then people just judge how well you sung other people's songs. And that's what that's how people got their music careers as opposed to the way it used to be.
I like drunken karaoke where they sound bad. It actually entertains me more.
Well, that's why they had the awful singers. You ever watch American Idol?
Maybe.
You remember
maybe
when
by
they
accident?
You remember when
maybe if I was like half asleep.
Do you remember when they used to have the bad singers on there? And then they would put that as like a block of people. This is gonna lead to my point why I thought their show was complete bullshit. So I knew this girl who actually tried out for their show, and she was not bad, quote unquote. She just wasn't that great of a singer. So I asked her, how did it go? When she came back, she said, "Oh, I didn't I went to do the first round." And then I kept forgetting the words or whatever, so I didn't get to go up to meet like Simon and all of them. I'm like second round. What are you talking about? And like, oh well, they have like a part first where you have to like get past the first round, then you go up there and then you sing in front of them on TV. So I'm like, wait a minute. So everyone doesn't go up to meet them? They're like, no. You said you have to get past that first part. And I'm like, so all those people that are on there that are just horrible, how do they get past the first round if they're worse than you? And it's like, obviously, you have to there's two things I had to think about that. One, people that might be really that bad, but it's so entertaining that they send them up in there, and they send them up there anyway for ratings. Or let me ask you this question, Stu.
All right.
If you're walking down the street and someone came up to you and said, do you mind singing really terribly, and I'll pay you like $10,000, or let's say like $5,000, just make an ass of yourself on TV. Would you do it?
Yeah, as long as I didn't have an actual like singing career. You're
just a random person walking down the street.
Okay, just random person. Yeah.
That's what I think. I think the whole thing was staged. All the bad singers that have been on there, except for William Hung, I think he naturally was that ignorant about the whole thing.
Sometimes bad singing in an environment like that actually requires some singing skill.
Well, you must have not been watching. Some of them are so bad that you're like, it's just.
But they're just like talking.
No, they're just like
they have to
blah, 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 and then it's like, and then Simon's like dreadful, bloody dreadful, and Simon, and then back when they had the other, when I used to kind of catch it here and there, and then like Randy's like, I'm feeling you, dog, but what you're doing right now, dog, I'm not really with.
Right,
and then
now I'm visualizing the show.
And then Paula would be like, I like your energy, but like what you're doing right now doesn't work. Before. And people was terrible, and it's like. So that ruined the show right there. I'm like, fuck this show. Like, people watching this is staged. Everything's staged now. It's just, except for the actual competition when they really have people that can sing. But I thought as a person like yourself that was a musician that actually, like, or actual other musicians that, like, really go on, like, write their own music, go play at, like, venues, and really struggle to get record contracts. This thing was like this whole show was a joke to them. That's what I thought. It's like taking advantage of, like, way it really should be. What did you think? Like, that's why I didn't like the show.
Yeah, I don't really like any of those shows.
So, I guess Stu's view is...
Wait, okay, Dancing with the Stars, I can handle that.
Yeah, that's
the only one I can handle.
Yeah.
Looks like they're actually, like, creating new content. It's not just, how can I, play something that's already been done.
Yeah. All right, so I guess you don't like it. Let's ask, and I'm fucking ecstatic this show's finally ending. We have to go through one more season and it's done. And we'll have to tell our grandkids about how awful this was. But, Little John, I think this calls for a celebration. Little John, what do you say? Yeah. He said we should do some shots dedicated to the end of American Idol. So, Stu,
What is this bleeding? Wait, oh no, go
will
on.
you do the honor of pouring us a couple glasses of, or a couple shots of tonight's drink?
Oh, well,
Thanks, because Lil Jon said so, and we have to celebrate.
it's a little hot out, and the Southern Comfort was in the freezer, so it's kind of like beating off here, and
We'll make do.
it should be good.
We'll make do. But, we have to celebrate something before we really get into the true celebration of what this show's all about. And I think we owe it to ourselves and our viewers to commemorate this moment. A toast to the death.
Should we get some lime juice?
Yeah, I can entertain people when I read the next story.
Yeah,
While
but
you get
I
some
don't know
lime
if
juice.
there's lime juice in there. I mean,
All right, then don't worry
it's a
about it.
possibility. All right, yeah, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
It's better with lime juice, though.
Very true. Yes. Fuck American Idol. All right.
I don't really care.
This next story is about the millennials who are scared to talk on their phones,
Millennials,
which are people that were born.
aren't they Generation
Why?
Y?
Yeah.
Why do they have to do the millennial thing?
I didn't know they were both until like a couple weeks ago. I was like, what?
Yeah, no. I heard him use the term millennial on the one TV show. What was it? Workspace? Not Workspace. What's the name of that show with those three dudes? One dude's named Blake.
Oh, workaholics.
Workaholics.
Yeah, they're millennials.
They said they used the term millennials,
Yeah.
and I was like, what?
But I thought
like,
that
they
was
really
after,
do go by that.
But I thought that was after like me though, like way after me. But it's not. It's actually people that were born in like the mid '80s. So like basically 28-year-olds and 26-year-olds, something like that, late 20-year-olds.
Makes me feel old.
Millennials have a repetition of this story I got from the Business Insider. Millennials have a repetition from being married to their phones. We see them texting. We see them emailing. They navigate with them. They order Seamless on them. They play Candy Crush on them, all while eating their app-ordered pad thai. According to the Millennial Generation Research Review, 80% of us even sleep with them. But there is one thing many of us do not do on our telephones is talk. The phone feels bizarre. The phone feels bizarrely invasive to me these days, one 29-year-old writer tells Business Insider, According to the 2013 Wall Street Journal article, millennials see the phone as an interruption. Picking up the phone without emailing first can make it seem as though you're prioritizing your needs over theirs. For generations who spent hours after school, instant messaging, calling can feel foreign and presumptuous. They don't want to wing it. That's the issue. One social psychiatrist says that millennials aren't wrong. There is something intimidating about the telephone. It's true, she says, that millennials are less practice having grown up in the email and texting and IM world. If your dominated form of communication with people hasn't been the phone, she says, then you're going to naturally be anxious using that form of communication. But it's also true that telephone anxiety transcends generations. Whether you talk on the phone a lot or not, you still have to respond to them in the moment, she says, without the option of editing yourself. You're more vulnerable. In other words, if the phone feels high pressure, that's because it is high pressure. You have to respond immediately, so there's greater likelihood you'll choke. Unfortunately, for the phone average, we all have to get over it because, as psychologist Ron Freeman says, phones are still essential success. If you want to be in a leadership position, you're going to have to get good at live interaction, he says. That means dialing. And then they give all these ideas of how you can be better at talking on the phone. The reason I asked this is, Stu, what kind of phone do you have?
Oh, you have to do that?
I have to do that. This improves my
I have a feature phone because I'm glued to a computer. So therefore, I do not need a smartphone because wherever I am, I have a computer.
Which is not true because I've hung out with you many times and I did not see a computer to your side outside of.
Okay, I got a GPS in my brain. I can take notes. I can Shazam with my brain.
Yeah, but the question is, if you want to
I
tell
don't need it.
people, what you're doing right now, you can't because you don't have a smartphone. Therefore, you
Yeah.
can't get on Facebook.
What? My computer's right over there.
But we're at your house. I'm saying if we were like at a bar or something, what are you gonna do then? How are you gonna tell people you're at this specific bar?
By using somebody else's smartphone, because
No.
so many people have smartphones. I usually can rely on whoever's next to me, and then I don't have to pay for it.
You're gonna say, "Can I borrow your phone?" And can I just talk? Can I check in on your phone or no? You check in when you are and you put in with Stu. You gotta hope that
I'm
you're friends with
normally
you.
near a computer. All right. I'm breaking down. I really don't like them. I love technology. I love computers. I just find like phones and tablets are only a viewing. You can't actually create any content with them. So I mean, a computer's that much better that you can actually create.
Well,
Content.
this proves the point. Then you don't like to talk on phones either. Like, if someone, do you prefer to text or do you prefer
Oh
to
no,
call?
actually, yeah, the millennial thing definitely rubbed off on me, and I like to text. That is, I don't like to email. I think email's even a little too formal.
Yeah.
I like texting, and I try to always avoid a phone call.
Yeah. But I had a friend that was a millennial. Which I thought he was, but I guess he is. I don't know because he's really young. He was like 21 when I knew him a couple years ago. But anyway, he said he had so many he doesn't even check his voicemails. Like he only texts. So if someone calls him and he misses a call, you're fucked.
I check my voicemails.
Yeah,
like,
at least you're
if
there.
If they're on there, I'll check them like days after or whatever. But
Jesus.
yeah,
You could have just won $1 million or had some job offer and you missed it.
yeah, pretty
Because
much.
the people that are older now
If
start
I'm
doing
looking
that.
if I'm looking for a job, I'm prepared to check my email, to check my my voice box and all that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but you never know when they're going to call, though. That's the only problem.
Well,
the
if
baby
I'm
boomers
currently in
don't
a
do it
job
like that.
search, I
Yeah, okay. So I wish we had a actual millennial or Generation Y person on here that we could ask why they don't like talking on the phone, but
they don't like being called Generation Y.
millennial they like.
Yeah, because
Well, it's the same thing.
They want to be different. It attaches them to the rest of the previous generations.
Yeah.
Where
So
they
X.
want to. Yeah.
Well, no, it's only X and Y. What's wrong with that?
I don't know.
It's not like a.
There had to be generations before that.
There's no Generation
just
V.
Didn't name them.
No Generation V, no Generation W. They just started that term in like the '60s or whatever.
All right. Well, you're Generation X, right?
Well, we
I'm
are.
Also.
It's weird because when I look on some things, they say it was people born from the '60s to like the late '70s, and it says like
Really, the
early
late
'70s.
Well, I'm late 70s, 78.
So I don't know, but but the thing is, some millennials I talk to, I'll bring up old like shows and things like that, and they know what I'm talking about. Some don't, so I don't know.
Huh.
But anyway, back to phones. It's just I was wondering what you thought about. So you're with the whole thing of, what do you see phones going like in the future? You think eventually no one will use their cell phone at all to talk on it?
No, eventually they will have features and a processor equivalent to a computer. So, you would have to add a laser keyboard or any of those added features to your phone to be able to actually create content instead of just viewing content.
All right. I just switched it. That's why it might sound a little different now, but I forgot to turn on the iRig.
Oh, you didn't turn on the
But
preamp?
it was recording everything. Now it sounds like we're like digital people, which is awesome. But anyway, go on. What you were saying?
Epic fail.
I know I fucked up.
All right.
You have to fix it in post.
What was I saying? Now you can definitely hear me.
No, I heard you before. But
all right.
it just now we sound like robots now.
Awesome.
Wait, if I go like,
I am a robot.
Can I hear myself? I hear my. All right, go ahead.
All right.
But I'm just saying that so you see there will be always a need to talk on your phone. You don't think in the future people like our kids will grow up and think like, why are you even talking on the phone? We just type everything we think, or even think everything, and it will just go to their phone.
No, I don't know about thinking.
Think your texts.
Oh, micromechanical nasal spores that access your brain and transmit what you're thinking.
Maybe. I like both though. I like talking on the phone. I like texting. The only reason I text people is either if like I'm in a rush or I know they don't like talking on the phone, so it's not worth it.
Yeah, you call on the phone too much.
I know. I'm an old school, I
You
guess.
scare me sometimes. I'm like, huh, phone's actually ringing?
You're like, what's that noise? What's going on? Oh, you're using your phone as a phone? That's weird. No, but a lot of people are like that. They don't even want to talk on the phone, so I don't bother even like calling them. So I just text them everything. But the thing I hate about it is when you're texting a whole goddamn like paragraph and shit, well, you could have just called and said it.
Okay, I agree in that case. But normally, I'm saying 90% of the time you do not need to tell people that much information, so.
Yeah. Well, according to this article, you still have to deal with the Generation X, and even the baby boomers are still alive. So if you want to be a leader, you have to somehow get over your fear of talking on the phone. They give ideas of what to think about, what you want to say before you say it. Think of a if and then scenario, so you know if they come back with something. You know, it's weird that you have to actually think of what to say before you say it. Now we're in this world now where when people want about to make a phone call, they got the oh my god, what did they say this? What did they say that? Where before people could just already think of what to say and just talk. It's just amazing the way the world's changing.
I like it. Technology makes our lives better.
All right, so basically your recap. Stu is happy that American Idol is coming to an end, and he is even happier.
Well, I actually don't care because I would avoid watching it anyway. So now I don't have to avoid it. There might be something on that I might actually enjoy.
Yeah. Well, do you watch Gotham? Or do you
No,
watch...
I don't.
All right. Or my dad's all about watching Empire, that new show. But I'm like,
what about the Marvel show, Shield?
oh, Shield. That's on. I would say that's on. Is that on Fox? Fox? No, it's on
Oh,
Channel
now
4.
you're patronizing certain channels.
I'm trying to think of channel it's on.
I think it's on 7.
Oh yeah, I watched the pilot. I didn't like it.
Well, at least 7 Comcast in New Jersey.
It's kind of. I didn't like it.
No,
So we'll get into like comic books and the whole thing later.
I don't have a series that I like right now. I don't.
I see we're at about half an hour, so let's get into the review portion of the show. Little John set us off right now.
Oh yeah.
Alright, I must warn you, we are already, or at least I am, feeling it right now, so these reviews might be a little slurred, but you'll get the idea of how we feel about each album.
Soko.
Alright. Let me get myself together in case we want to...
That's some 70 proof.
Alright, first review. Halestorm. New album called Into the Wildlife. This is their third album. And they are a hard rock band from Pennsylvania, which is in the same category, I think, musically as Shinedown, Seether, and Theory of a Dead Man. Have you heard of those bands?
And Nickelback.
And Nickelback. He wants to go and Nickelback. But the only difference between all those bands is they have male singers, whereas this one has a female singer with a raspy voice, kind of a reminiscent to Lita Ford.
Nah, diva-like. She is diva-like.
Who?
She's diva-like.
Diva?
Yeah, like a diva.
Well, yeah, it's true. Because if I don't know, people aren't from around here that or not from New Jersey, but on the local station,
diva, if
on the local station, they play the hell out of Halestorm, and they love Lita Hale and her sound. But then again, they like Stu said, they play Nickelback too, so I don't know what to say about that. So one of the songs I want to talk about is the song called "I Am the Fire," which I'm going to be honest and say that this really showcases her vocal range. And then she's belting out the chorus and the tracks. I like the fact that they have that dirty arena rock sound on this particular song, which I don't know what you think, but you're giving her shit, but I think she's pretty much one of the best chick singers around right now. What would you say?
Nah.
All right.
I don't like the style. It's a little too, I guess, tomboyish. She's kind of rough and diva-like, and I don't like it.
Yeah, but what about the fact that she's trying to like be like a role model to women, and she's trying to have more like a statement to being like put her. She's trying to kind of trying to put her foot in the like rock scene. She's trying to sing with the boys.
I'd rather have cute and cool than tough and she's trying to be one of the boys.
Right. I mean, they got the slow headbanger songs, groove rock, like the song "Amen." They got a little bit of southern rock in them.
Horrible.
All right.
Well, what about song? Oh my god, that's where I was like, I honestly was contemplating. I was like, you know what, they're all right, you know. And then that song came on.
Okay.
Forget it.
But what about?
I instantly went, this shit sucks.
All right. Well, I would have thought this. I would have thought you would have hated it on the song I want to mention to you guys is a song called "Dear Daughter," which is like a kind of ballad song for the ladies, telling them that even though life can be a challenge, they will persevere thanks to a caring father and tenacity, which I felt was a great message, but a cheesy ballad. What did you think?
I don't even remember that song.
Do you remember any of the slow songs?
I'm pretty sure I played most of them.
You remember the slow songs? Like, not all the songs were like hard rockers. Some were like kind of slow ones.
Maybe I didn't listen to all of it. I couldn't get through it.
All right.
They live in Pennsylvania?
Yeah, not a popular
I should go easy with my shit talk, because
they might come up here and find you. Because, you know, they're listening to us right now. You know, they scour the internet looking for people talking shit about them. But they're not only influenced by hair metal 80s bands. They also have songs like Bad Girl World and another song called What Sober Couldn't Say, which has like kind of like Edie Brickell and the New Bohemians vibe. And even though I appreciate the diversity of their sound, it's a bit jarring when they do like that kind of stuff, and then they do heavy songs like Mayhem or another song they have, which is aptly titled "I Like It Heavy." You remember those songs? You remember the heavy songs, okay?
Yeah.
So most of the songs on the album start before the previous song ends, which kind of forces the listener to listen to the whole thing from beginning to end, unless you're Stu, which sounded to me like you didn't listen to the whole thing, like each song.
No, actually, I did listen thoroughly through songs, but I probably didn't listen to all of them.
Did you notice how like a song would like end, right, and the next song, another part of the song would kick in, then the track would change the next song. So it was like you have to listen to, which I don't know what version I sent to you, but when I had the actual CD, when you're listening to it, like the song would kind of end and then another song would begin before it would actually switch to that next song. So it's like you have to listen to the whole thing, which I think is cool when people do that. It's like it's kind of making you listen to the whole thing and judge it on its own.
That's like a mega mix, where every song kind of blends in all as one song. Well,
for
at least
most part.
The ending and beginning are blend together.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say with this album, I know we didn't really get into it that much because I can feel that Stu wants to really go in on this record, but I think that fans won't be disappointed by it, but I don't think it's going to convert any new followers. So I'm going to give this album a download. What do you think? Free download.
I'd give it an avoid it.
Oh man, you want to say skip it?
What is that? That's a skip it?
Yep, you want to skip this thing. Sorry. It's not that good at all.
I don't remember the rating system. But
okay.
Yes, skip it. Take a dump on it.
Well, that was if you really hate it. Do you hate it?
Really?
Do you hate it that much, or did
I don't like it.
Oh, you hate it? Like, does it bother you every day? You wake up, you think about how much you suffer through that?
No.
Yeah, so just don't listen to it. You're saying
skip it.
Well,
is there really a take a dump on it?
Yeah, yes, that's a lower rating.
Oh, that's fuck it.
Yeah.
All right.
But you don't want to do that. You don't want to take time out of your day to poop on this album. You're just saying that.
No.
You just don't listen to it. You're saying.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna say just.
It wasn't that bad. I actually did give it kind of a chance at the beginning, and I was like, "Oh, this is all right," you know.
Well, I'm gonna say that there were some songs that were good, and I think like for their audience, they will like it. But for someone that's like a new listener, that's my point.
Oh yeah, no, I'm sure they have an audience.
No, that's my point. Let me finish. Like people that never heard of the band, there are a few songs on here that you will enjoy. So I think you should download those songs for free. Or if you want to download the whole album for free, go for that. Alright, so that's the end of that one.
You're killing the music industry. Free downloading.
Well,
if they offer it,
you gotta save money somehow. So what can you do? Shots number 2. Yeah, we gotta.
How'd I end up in New York City and you ended up with Maine?
Because that's where I'm gonna go, and I'm gonna
You're
make
going to
sure I'm.
Maine?
Well, we switched them.
Yeah, I don't know. Which one's yours?
It doesn't matter.
You had New York
I
City or
I
Maine?
messed up. I got Maine now, which I have been to earlier last year. For the first time. All right, next review. Dance Gavin Dance. Album they have called Instant Gratification. Never heard of this band, but amazingly, this is their 6th album, and they're from Sacramento.
No, actually, when we went to see Suicide Machines, they were advertising. You weren't there because you were in the back, but you know the little billboards they show of all the things going on in the city.
Yeah.
They had Dance Gavin Dance.
Well, let me rephrase that. I heard the name before, but I never heard their music.
Okay, that's better.
So, and a name like that, it does not draw me in because it's fucking stupid.
No,
I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? But they're from Sacramento. They're a post-hardcore band, which they formed in 2005 from guitarist Will Swan, drummer Matt Mingus, and bassist Eric Lodge from a previous band they had called Farewell Unknown, which broke up. And they've been on Rise Records ever since. So over the years, they've been in a carousel of members due to personal conflicts, exhaustion from touring. With, for example, the two people I mentioned before, Eric and another guy named John Mess, left the band due to John's Lyme disease.
They're just tuning the machine.
But they actually came back in 2010. So by their 3rd album, called Happiness, their musical direction went from being a emo band to a more experimental sound, which this had me skeptical before I listened to it. So to my surprise, when I put this out on and listened to it, they did a good job of blending melodic hardcore solos with clean and hardcore vocals, while incorporating what I assume to be their roots of screamo.
Screamo? Oh, I hate that term.
We'll get into that later. I'm
I
sorry.
hate that term. All emo core has screaming in it.
We'll get into that later.
Hence, emotional
wait, what did you say?
hardcore.
What did you say it's called? Emo core?
It's emotional hardcore.
All right,
That's
sorry.
where emo came from, emotional hardcore. So therefore, those rock bands that say they're emo, that don't scream, guess what? They're not emo core.
They're just emo.
No, they're not emo.
Okay.
They're not emo, because emo came from emotional hardcore. So it was emotional hardcore. How can you have... They literally took a term and chopped it in half.
Yeah.
No, you can't do that. That's a rock band. They're not emo.
So you're gonna say Dashboard Confessional is a rock band?
Yes.
Oh man, we're gonna have
unless you have actual full-on emotional hardcore. Hence, emo core.
They do, but it's with acoustic guitars.
What came first, emo or emo core? Emo core. So therefore, that is the term.
I don't know what came first. It's a good question.
Okay.
Because when it came first, they didn't call it emo core. They just called it emo at the time.
No, they called it emo core, emotional hardcore.
So let's say emo core.
A lot of the Victory
Let's
Records
not say
stuff.
screamo.
And, okay.
We'll say that they.
Yeah.
I think they had a roots of emo core, which I saw what they're having now, which which I heard in this particular album called Instant Gratification, which I'm gonna be honest say it did not happen to me. It was not instant. There was no gratification at all.
No, I like it.
Now, what makes this album so difficult for me to listen to is the vocals sound a lot like Coheed and Cambria, and that's in a band's vocals I can't stand. I hate that band only because of their vocals, but I'm a Rush hater only because of their vocal. I don't like when guys sound like fucking chicks. And they're gonna say, but wait, Jarrell, you listen to Smashing Pumpkins, you like them, but something different about Smashing Pumpkins where when that guy sings, you know it's a guy sounding in a falsetto voice. Coheed and Cambria and this band right here, I thought they were straight up girls when they were singing. No, actually, never mind. This band, I knew it was guys, but I thought they were trying to be like Coheed and Cambria, which originally I thought was a girl singing until I found out later. Now, they have a song on this album called Shark Dad, which has tremendous hardcore vocals and blast beats, or sprinkled it out. But at the same time, I notice a lot of these new school Warped Tour bands are trying to do more abstract versions of A Day to Remember and 4 Years Strong. True, it's unique, but one song will go from poppy to aggressive and back so often, it's distracting and at times annoying. So I think this particular band is basically Music for kids who are bipolar with a hint of ADD. What do you think, Stu?
You calling that bipolar because you want more than one emotion in a song?
No, I want less. I want a song that has maybe 2 switch ups, not like 4. It's like I can't pigeonhole their sound.
I kind of like that, soft and hard, and cutting back and forth, happy, sad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's a good blend. I like the cuts.
Oh, so you like this band, basically?
Yeah.
So have you heard them before? Is this your first?
No. This
doggy barking.
This is the first time. The only other time I saw them being advertised at other shows in New York. And actually, Nick from Cheese Puff Death Crunch, he actually came up to me at work and was like, "You know that band, Dance Gavin Dance?" And I was like, "Yeah, I sort of know." And he's like, "They're fucking hard as shit."
They are at times.
He said it. He was like,
they are hard at
shit.
times. They are hard at times. Yes.
And you know what? He didn't even mention any of the soft stuff. So I thought maybe he didn't want to share that with me. That he gets emotional sometimes. So.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this question. So you know that song with the rap, the portion Eagles versus Crows? Remember that part where it's like a rap breakdown? Remember that song? It's the actual guitarist Will Swan has a rap part in a song called Eagles versus Crows, which is fucking embarrassing.
Really?
Fucking embarrassing to pull rap in this shit now, and it's like.
Well, was it
like
rap?
I'm at the point now with this band?
Was there like a hip hop beat like a
no?
Okay,
it was basically they're doing hardcore, and then they switch to like their pop like I want to say emo. They're doing hardcore, and then they switch to emo, and then they pull a rap part for the bridge, and it's like
it's all emo core.
And at the point, I'm like, dude, like I wouldn't be surprised if they end a song with a fucking like polka outro at this rate. It's just too much. I mean I like diversity, but it's just I don't know. It's like I don't like when it's like too many different things going on, like on a one song. Like they go from like the girly like pop rock music, then they switch to like hardcore and it's like screaming and shit. Then they switch to like back to it. Then they go to like a rap part. It's like what the fuck is going on here? Like pick a style.
I don't have a problem with that. I like multi-genre. I'm a big fan of multi-genre.
I felt that.
I mean, it happens a lot with electronic music where you have a multi-genre, where you have cuts. You have cuts of completely different genres that they do kind of throw you.
You're not going to change my rating, but you will change this. Maybe I have to listen to them again. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe I just don't get it. It's new to me, so I have to go back and do it. But I will say this: the final song on the album is called "Lost," and it's exactly what I thought the whole album should have sounded like. It's the perfect mixture of math rock and hardcore. And I'm like, why didn't you just do the same thing 12 times and you would have been perfect? So my viewing is this: if Gavin Dance, I almost said it, Gavin, but if Gavin Dance, if their mission was to bore me for almost 45 minutes and make me feel more out of touch for the current punk rock scene than ever before, they fucking exceeded. So my rating is to skip this. Stu?
Oh wow. Yeah, I disagree.
Go ahead. Give your final analysis.
I'm really cheap, so I don't think I could go with a buy with. Or buy.
Let's say the audience we're listening to is not cheap. Let's say they have.
What's the one right underneath buy? I will go and see them, so I'll pay to see them, but I won't buy their album. But I would buy single tracks. So
you want to download it?
Yeah, that would be downloaded. I would pay for certain tracks that I had previews of.
All right, awesome. So go out there and download this album. Want to hear more of our reviews? I'll do this later. Never mind. We'll do that in post.
Huh?
Never mind. I was
There's
gonna
no
say.
post here.
I'm saying what we should do.
Ooh, we gonna punch in and say something else?
No, I'm saying what we should do after we do each review when we get good at this is to say if you want to hear more from our reviews, go to our website, blah blah, so we can like single out each review when we get to that point, you know.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But we'll have like I'll have like a thing that I say that is scripted, you know. But with this is scripted right now, you know.
Shots.
Shots. All right, the final shots of the night, or we'll see.
Oh, we still got a little bit more.
Got a little bit more. It's not too warm though.
You ain't driving nowhere. You
Not
gotta,
right now.
You gotta rest up.
Exactly. All right. Woo! Smooth.
Yeah, it's very smooth.
Icky Blossoms have an album called Mask. Electro pop band from Omaha, Nebraska. Formed in 2011 and immediately signed to an indie label called Shallow Creek Records. And me and Stu saw this band open for the Faint in 2012. Amazing performance. And once we saw them, we were running around and find out to buy their album.
Yeah.
They're a great band, which is has a singer called, her name is Sarah Bolin, and they have multi-instrumentalists that they want to call themselves, named Derek Presnell and Nick Fackler. And the newest member they had is drummer Ryan McCanna. I had to memorize how I say his name, but I got it. So they say, in addition to borrowing some of the new wave synth dance sound of the 80s, they have the dual male and female vocals that remind me of a band called X. You ever heard of X?
No, I haven't.
They're a punk rock band from the
two-finger 80s keyboard there, though. It's good shit.
They're a punk rock band from there, which is funny because me and Stu actually went and saw this band open for the Reverend Horton Heat in Philadelphia. It's a girl and a guy. They play in a punk rock band. They play music. Do you remember that show? I drove, and we saw them open for Reverend Horton Heat opened for them.
Open for who?
X.
Oh, what was that in Philly?
At the theater
or something.
Living Arts, something like that.
Okay, I remember the show.
Yeah,
though.
yeah. You remember them playing?
No, I don't remember.
We only watched half their set, and I looked to my left, and I saw one guy jumping up and down. And when we found they didn't have a smoking section, we left.
Okay, yeah.
Which happened again at Terminal 5 in New York, but that's a different story.
I don't smoke anymore, so that's no longer an issue.
Which is actually where we saw Icky Blossom, Terminal 5 in New York, open for the Faint, which is on the same record label. So I listened to the first 3 songs, and after I listened to those songs on their sophomore album, they haven't strayed from the formula whatsoever. They still maintain the atmospheric clubbish electronic sound. And the song called "Away From You," I want to mention, has a line at the end that goes, "Let's get together. There's no afterlife." And I like the semi-atheist lyrics because it really showcases the dreary, carefree vibe of the album, which the music complements so well. You want to say anything about this album so far?
No, actually, I really liked it. I think they have a lot more potential.
More?
Yeah, I think they have a lot more potential, and I think they could, create newer sounds. They a lot of the songs do sound like it's very similar vibe between different songs. I mean, not that that's bad. I mean, that's great to make a whole album, but I think they could vary it a little bit, or develop another sound that they could throw in there.
Okay. Well, I want to say I really love this album, and one of the positive upbeat songs on there is called Wait. And what I love about this album is it's got the happy pop song, and and then it switches to like a darker song called Silver Tongue, with has like the distorted guitars, bass, and vocals mixed with like the gothic keyboards. Very cool song. Very cool song. And it reminded me of like it could have been a B-side to the Pre-Hate Machine album that Nine Inch Nails did in the late 80s. And the end song, the ending of the album with a song called Terror Nothing, which has hypnotic guitar riffs, like here and there, and goes out with an aggressive fist-pumping rave beat, which I know you love, fucking rave music, and it's like the last song, like had a thumping rave outro. Yeah. Remember that song?
Yeah, I like my 909.
That was what I like about this band. They combine so well, like the art rock with like the electronic with the pop sounds, and they have the female singer. They have all these things blended together. And what they did tremendous about this album is they're I think they're 2 for 2 with Amazing Records. And the thing good about this record is only 9 tracks, so that limits the room for filler songs.
Did you see their picture that they use on YouTube for their songs? I mean, did they actually post their songs, or did somebody else?
Probably someone else, but why?
Someone else? I don't know. I had like, I guess that was the singer covered in some sort of goo.
Okay. I thought it was a mask, the name of the album. I thought she was one.
Yeah, I know, but it looked like a mask of goo. You know, typically, maybe man goo.
Man goo.
Yeah, it looked like she had bukkake all over her.
Well, yeah. So that's bukkake is great, and I'm gonna say the same thing about this album. I think you guys should run out and buy it right now. All right, what do you think, Stu?
Yeah, I would also say buy it. Yeah.
Well, here we go. We finally agree on something. Yay! Awesome. All right, so that's the show for today. Let's go for our outro music. There we go. So if you we're gonna be doing another show next week. That'll be our Memorial Day show. We'll be reviewing the latest from Faith No More, as opposed to other albums as well. If you want to get in touch, find out what we're doing, go to our website, which is njhybridradio.net. See all our interviews and as our podcasts as well. And soon to be, our radio stations are coming up eventually. Eventually, yes. I'll come to that later. But also, if you want to email us, go to njhybridradio@gmail.com. This is Jarrell and
Stu.
Punching out. Have a good night.